some of the young ladies have said, what would you say was your greatest obstacle before overcome?
In terms of my profession or
professionally,
overall?
personally, whichever one you feel more comfortable with.
Well, the greatest one obstacle recently, as I mentioned, is my father died.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to come back to that for a moment is because that was very painful for me. And sometimes we don't know the strength of character that we have until we go through something. We say, oh, I could never endure that, or I would always do that, or I would never do that. You don't know until you're tested, and whatever, we're all tested in different ways. I ask, sometimes I talk to my clients or talk to my students, and they say, well, nothing ever bad has happened to me, and my life has been pretty good, and all those kinds of things. And I say, you don't have to have been a destitute person out on the street, strung out or something, to say that you have had any obstacles, because our challenges are our challenges. And simply because they're called challenges, they're difficult for us. And so I believe that when we go through challenges, that it really shows the material, as it were, talking about shipbuilding and so forth, the material that we're made of, the strength that we have, the character that we have. And sometimes we surprise ourselves. We think, oh, and that surprised me as a woman. I grew up, I was the third, and then my youngest, I had my youngest sister, but I grew up sort of like China. I want to explain this to you. I grew up, it's almost like I wanted to be seen. Let's say you go to a museum, it was like this. You go to a museum, and some museums, most museums are not hands-on. You can't touch things, right? They're behind nice glass and plexiglass, and you just look at them. They say on the sign, do not touch. And you look at your hands there, you go, oh, isn't that beautiful? Boy, that seems so pretty. That's the kind of person I was. I wanted just to be seen but not touched. I wanted to just be admired from afar, but nobody to see any cracks that I had. Like you see those beautiful faces, you say, oh, isn't that beautiful? But when you get up really close, you say, hey, the paint is chipping a little. I didn't see that paint was chipping. Or look at that little fracture of a crack right there. I didn't even know that. Well, I grew up wanting to be that person. But as I grew and experienced some changes, I decided that I didn't want to be China anymore, and I didn't want to be treated. China is the type of thing that you only take out during the holidays. You just say, no. My parents were the type that they put plastic on the couch and said, nobody goes in there. You don't sit on the good furniture. You don't sit around in your good clothes. You take them off and put it on your other side. So I grew up, only keep things for special days, and that's how I was. But then I decided that that's not the type of person or the woman I wanted to be. I wanted to be kitchenware. And kitchenware is stuff you can use. What do you do with your kitchenware? You use it every day, right? You take it out the cabinet. Oh, I dropped it. Well, that's okay. A little crack ain't gonna hurt nothing, and you just keep on going. And the reason I wanted to be kitchenware is because I'm a much more useful person if I'm kitchenware. If I'm beautiful China behind a glass, what can I do? You can just stand there and admire the person, but there's nothing, they can't help you. There's nothing they can do. But earthenware, when your friends come over in good times, in bad times, on holidays, on Saturdays, you take that stuff out and you use it, you throw it in the microwave, you throw it in the dishwasher, and you like it because it's there with you all the time. It's of value to you. It's practical. And that's the woman in my reinvention. That's the woman that I've become. I've become a practical person. How can I give back? What can I say to you? I don't mind showing you my cracks now. I don't mind that because you can learn something from my cracks and I can learn something from yours too. And that's why, and that is an obstacle. So when I say my most recent is the passing of my father, it strengthened me because it showed me what I was made of, and it also, and things do this, it changed my relationship with my mother. I wasn't very, very close to my mother, but now I'm very close to her. Why? Because she's the only parent I have, and because I feel like I have to protect her and surround her now. And that for me has been positive because I am able to pour out love and compassion and concern that maybe I was keeping inside. Now I have a place to give it, and I've decided to even give it more to my mother that I hadn't so much before. So that's what's been very, very important for me. Very important. So I'm kitchenware. I'm just plain old kitchenware. That's what I have.
I like to joke and say, what you see is what you get. So that's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Anybody have?
This production has been brought to you by Image Entertainment in partnership with New Journal and Guide. Subscribe today.